a short introduction about the Eureka Lightweighting call. What is it about? And I would like to start with a very quick overview of Eureka as a program. What is Eureka? Eureka is an intergovernmental network and a leading platform for international cooperation. What is the goal of this network is to synchronize funding bodies to launch calls for R&D proposals where you as a company or also as research organizations can submit your project to, and at the same time enable the access to finance for these projects. So really this is the aim of Eureka, to enable your R&D ideas. And behind all of that is a network of companies, of funding bodies, of policy levels that makes it happen. In Eureka, we have many instruments that we can use to create opportunities, to start calls, to launch calls. Today, we would like to talk about Eureka Network Project. So this is the instrument that we have chosen for this call on lightweighting. There are other instruments available. Some are co-funded by the European Union. Some are more closer to the industry as well. But today we focus on the Eureka Network Project instrument with the Eureka Lightweighting call. Now, on this slide, you can see a possible project that could be submitted to the call. So what you can see is you need at least 2 participating countries. No country can claim more than 70% of the costs, no country or partner. And you can see on the slide a Eureka project. So in this example, it is a project between Austria, Luxembourg, and South Korea. So this would be one possible Eureka project. Now, the special thing is that all the partners are funded by their national funding body. That is why it is a distributed public-private partnership. So you have to create one Eureka application for the whole project, but funding is granted by the national funding authorities. So all the time in Eureka, there are many calls open. So there is one call with Chile, for example, but today we want to focus on the Eureka Lightweighting call. So national funding bodies from the countries of Eureka, they can choose to participate in these calls and support projects, support companies that submit projects. So in Austria, for example, we decided to participate in the Eureka Lightweighting call, even to initiate it. So in Austria, the FFG is the funding agency that provides funding for the partners from Austria that submit a project to the Eureka Lightweighting call. And all the other funding bodies are present as well that participate in this call, and they will fund their respective partners. So now let's go to the Eureka Lightweighting call. We already heard the motivation for starting this call. So we have heard that lightweighting is a key enabling technology. It creates environmentally friendly solution. It creates commercial value. It originated from mobility-linked challenges. But we have also heard that international collaboration is essential for visibility. And this was the motivation, I think, for launching the call under the Eureka Network program. We have started this call in a very short timeline. So we hope to continue this initiative in the future, but at the current point, we have defined deadlines and countries that participate in this first edition of the Eureka Lightweighting call. And all the countries will present in this webinar their national funding conditions. As I mentioned, the goal, why has Eureka been chosen? Because we want to facilitate cooperation between organizations internationally. So the goal is to build an international R&D project with an international consortium. So at the same time, Eureka is a minimal organizational overhead to achieve this goal. You can see the details again here. I will come back to the timeline, but you have until the 25th of August to submit a Eureka application at the Eureka platform.
It's 25th of April, no?
Yes, exactly. Yes. So the call in the call text, there is a call text on the website that you can find on the slides and also on the Eureka Network website. So the call has some effects, some challenges that should be targeted. So these are the challenges for the call: to optimize energy and resource efficiency and to create sustainable value cycles. We have already heard this, and also to boost the lightweighting integration in more areas. The call text also suggests some topics, but does not limit these topics. So the topics that can be addressed with lightweighting technologies are joining technologies in multi-material design, material design, optimization of multi-material design approaches, lightweighting through functional integration, additive manufacturing, novel lightweighting materials, including the manufacturing, the optimized manufacturing, and life cycle assessment, circular economy. More details, always you can go back to the call text and read up more details. So how does the submission process look like? What we recommend is that all partners that want to participate, that want to submit a project, should contact their national funding body in their country. This is just for you as a service, because you can at a very early stage understand if your project fits the call. So this is an option that you have. But the first formal criteria is the Eureka submission. So you have to submit an application at the Eureka submission platform, eureka.smartsimple.ie. And at the same time, or depending on the national criteria, you also have to submit a national application. So in most countries, you will need two applications, the Eureka application and the national application. Now, to which extent the national application differs from the Eureka application depends on each country, and all the countries will present their funding conditions in this webinar. Once all proposals are received and evaluated, there will be a consensus meeting. So this will happen from July 2023 onwards. All funding bodies will have evaluated their project nationally and will reach a conclusion. Afterwards, the project gets the label and you can start with the project end of the year. Now, to submit a Eureka application, as I mentioned, there is a platform, eureka.smartsimple.ie. There are many tutorials for this platform. There is a video tutorials, there are user guidelines in the platform. It is recommended that the main partner, usually the partner with the most effort in the project, completes as much of the application as possible, invites all the other partners, and then every partner has to sign a co-signature form, and the main partner again submits the application. And then you have to submit the national application according to the national criteria. Please also make use of the Q&A session after the national presentations to ask questions about national conditions and which kind of documents are required in the national applications. It is important to note that the Eureka application is based on the national evaluation results. So the national evaluation results will be structured in these four criteria: impact, excellence, quality, and efficiency of implementation and overall perception. But there is no separate evaluation of the Eureka application, but everything will be evaluated by the national funding bodies. So the Eureka application and the national application, and then the Eureka funding bodies will join the consensus meeting and decide which projects can be funded. There are some eligibility criteria. I've mentioned already that no partner, no country can be responsible for more than 70% of the project budget, and also that you have to have at least 2 entities from Eureka countries. The project must also have a civilian purpose, and it must be aimed at developing a product, process, or service, and it should be presented as a form of a specific project. Okay, so this was a short overview of the Eureka call. Yes.